Hello, beautiful people. You know what? Hello, talented people, beautiful and talented people. This is Catrina Frison of Banner Media Group, and I want to talk about skill set. And one of the ways in which you increase your skill set is by education. I cannot say enough about education, but I'm going to just give you a few tips, a few things that you can do to educate yourself. And it doesn't matter what area of the arts you desire to go in. If you want to be a singer, an actor, a model, a dancer, whatever the case, right? You need to educate yourself. Okay. Because what's important is that understand that the who we consider to be the greats in whatever industry, in the entertainment industry, these are people who have mastered their craft. These are people who have studied their craft, who have practiced and invested time, energy, and money into their craft. You cannot get past that. Yes, you can have raw talent, but that's just the beginning of the journey. That talent has to be developed. And not only that, you have to know what to do with that talent, when to perform that talent. Like there are things that you need to know. In fact, Proverbs 4:7 says, wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thy getting, get understanding. It's important for you to know the field, the business, the industry. And it's important to know the value of what you have in you that will contribute to society and to the field. So it starts with education. And so just a few things to give you as it relates to developing your skill set. First one, read something. Read. I know that seems simple and that seems common sense, but you'd be surprised. Lots of people don't take advantage of this opportunity. Read books, read magazine articles, read news articles, read. Now, listen, if you're a singer, you're not just reading on how to sing. You're reading about what things that are happening in the industry. You're reading about the business of music. You're reading about how to evaluate charts. I mean, there are all kinds of information and things, especially think about what you feel like you don't know. You can start there. What do you feel like you don't know or you don't have a full understanding? Then read about how to do it. Read about, get the understanding that you need as it relates to that. I get a lot of questions from writers and songwriters about copyright, just that alone. You can read articles on how to copyright, what can be copywritten, like all that is an education in and of itself, protecting your intellectual property. And if there are terms that you don't know, when you hear people in the industry say terms to you and you don't know what those things mean, you need to read a dictionary. You need to read, you know what I mean? You need to research what that is so that the next time you have a conversation and that word or that phrase comes up, you know exactly what to be said or how to respond. So read something. The other thing is take a course, take a class. There are plenty. If you are a singer, having a vocal coach is a great investment. If you're an actor, having an acting coach is a great investment. It doesn't have to be a one-on-one, although those are great. And those are more customized to you. But you can do a course, a little course where it's a classroom. There are multiple people in the room with you. Those are still opportunities for you to learn and for you to grow in your craft. Take a dance class, take a modeling course, do a workshop, do a webinar, do a seminar, go to a conference. Listen, these kinds of events are amazing in the respect of you're not only learning how to master the craft of whatever that art is, but you are also in an environment to network with others such as yourself. And you're able to have access to an expert. If it's not just the teacher or the presenter, there are others who are there that you can connect with. It's a great opportunity all the way around for you to take the course. So I want to encourage you to invest in yourself. Do not think that you are going to fast track your way to superstardom and you don't invest in yourself. You don't invest in your own growth and your own education and your own brand. You cannot expect other people to invest in your brand and you don't invest in it. I'm going to say that right here. So understand and know that you have to put in the work to make sure that, one, you have identified your talent. And if you are not sure in how to do that, I recommend that you go to another video on this page that is, I think it's mindset, and it says identify your talent. I will go there, and I got all kind of conversation concerning that. But identifying your talent, but developing your talent as well. Now, the third thing, you want to ask the experts. You want to ask the experts. Like I said, when you take a course, when you take a class, and you go to events, it's an opportunity to get up close to an expert to even ask the questions. So when you're sitting, listen, when you're sitting in class, don't just take notes of what they said, ask questions. Don't be afraid to speak up and ask a question. Ask what you want to know. Especially if it's specific to you, ask the question. Most times in class settings and in lecture settings, there is a Q&A. So please don't sit on your question. Don't think, okay, well, then I'll wait until after because sometimes those people walk straight out the door and you don't get a chance to meet them. Sometimes that happens. And then you've missed your opportunity. You want to ask questions, because here's the thing that I'm a speaker and I'm a presenter and a teacher. I love the students. I remember the students who asked the question. In fact, students who ask the questions, this is just an aside on me. Students who ask the questions, typically I leave the event thinking about that student and that question and how I can help them. And if I didn't fully answer it, or if there's something else I can add to it, then typically if I can get a hold of that student, I'll go back and say, hey, I thought about what you asked. Here's an opportunity, or here's some additional information. So I love students who ask questions. Be that student. If you are wanting to know, and I have done this I still do this, even though, I've been in the business for a long time. When I first started out, I didn't know, there are lots of things I didn't know. So whenever I got an opportunity to meet someone, or I also did this, I wrote letters to people, because of course, during that time, there was not social media. I wrote letters to and said, hey, I am Catrina. I'm an aspiring this and this and this, and I have a question, what do you think about this? Sometimes they would respond, sometimes they would not. But the fact of the matter is, I always got my questions answered. And older people, I was young at the time, older people love to be asked questions about their field. So if you're in a situation and you can send an email, send a direct message, and in this day and time, you can connect with almost anybody and ask them a question to get an understanding of, again, the field. When you look at people who are doing what you want to do, ask them, how did you get started? What do you feel were the challenges? What advice could you give me? I'm an aspiring actress. What advice could you give me concerning, becoming an actress? Like, listen, that's golden when you get an opportunity to directly ask an expert. Now, understand this. All of this is a process. All of us are learning and continue. And I encourage you to be a forever student. Be a forever student, no matter how good you get, how big you get, how big your brand becomes, continue to be a student, continue to learn, continue to get better and better and better. So those are my tips. Those are my tips. Those are my tips. Increase your skill set by reading something, taking a course, asking the experts. So I hope this is helpful. I'll see you in the next video.